Hi, I'm Mark. I live here with my mom and dad and my 10-year-old sister named Melissa. My Nana, my grandmother, lives across the street. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys something. My family is just like the family you saw on that 1996 TV show called Everybody Loves Ray. Raymond. I say Ray, but we are just like them.
Madison DeVore. If you are not doing what you love, you are wasting your time. Billy Joel.
Mark Dianco. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Michael Jackson.
What I do know about him is he was inspiring. He was a drummer. He should have lived longer. But he was an inspiring person. So I thought when making this choice, who inspires me? And I really could only think of, well, they all inspire me. But the person that inspires me the most is Mark DiDonato.
Oh my God!
Father's Day is Sunday, and I was watching Steve Harvey, and I thought, God, I want to send my dad's name in and all the things that just everything that I think about him, everything that he meant to me and to my brother and to so many people. He was just the kindest, most wonderful man. I don't think a daughter could love her father any more than I love my dad. I found this one picture. I was pregnant, believe it or not, with Bobby. And here he is smoking and I'm sitting on his lap. I look like Loretta Lynn. But he was the joy of my life. He whenever he walked in my door, he was like sunshine. And I always worried about something happening to him because of the kind of man that he was. The nuns used to always say to us, God takes the good ones early. And I thought, oh my God, he's going to take Daddy. I was worried about him, always worried about him. I guess I'm not a good one because he didn't take me. But I used to always think that. And when my dad had a stroke in 1981, he had a massive stroke. And we really didn't think he was going to live. He was in a coma. It was just awful. Because a year before that, he had a really bad heart attack. And the doctor told us it was touch and go. He couldn't tell us if he was going to live. And that, and he got through that. And, the night before the stroke happened, he was outside shoveling and smoking, of course. And before he had his heart attack, he was out there shoveling and smoking. And can I tell you, when I shoveled all the time, I loved to smoke while I was shoveling. It's terrible. It's the dumbest thing you can do. But anyway, so when this happened to my dad, I was supposed to be going to play racquetball with Bernadette. And my cousin Linda called me and said my dad was in the hospital. They just rushed my dad to the hospital. And I was sitting in the back, and Bernadette was in the front with Linda, and I was saying, is he going to be all right? You don't think it's a bad one, do you? What is it? And she said, I think it's a stroke. And I said, is it a bad one? Is he going to, because he had a stroke 10 days before, which they called a mini stroke. And I said, maybe it's just a mini stroke again, you think? Well, it wasn't. He had a massive stroke. And I remember the doctor standing in the hallway, and the doctor saying to us he didn't know, if he was going to be able to pull out of this one. And all I could think of was just looking at my dad, the most wonderful man. He had a heart that was of pure gold. He'd do anything for anybody. There wasn't a person that I ever said who I was, that I was Sandy Silicata. And they knew my dad. And they always had a wonderful thing to say about him. What a great guy he was. He'd give you the shirt off his back. He was, my friends all adored him. They used to have a crush on him. And they used to tell my mother, we have a crush on your husband. And my mother goes, well, he's mine. I'm married to him, But she was something. She didn't worry about nothing. She said he was hers. So my mother, I guess, really didn't worry. And they knew, they weren't your lovey-dovey couple, but I guess they were in their own way. But when I saw this on Steve Harvey, people came on and said their father coached and their father did this with the kids and that. My father did all those things. Everything that people said that their father did, my father did all those things and more. I mean, he was everything a daughter could want. And he was everything a son could want. My brother would tell stories about things my father did with him, and I would think, when did he have time to do that with him? He was doing everything with me and my friends. But that's the way he was. He made everybody feel special. And of course, I was Daddy's little girl, and he'd come in the door, and I'd run into his arms every night. He was my life, my love. I loved him so much. The day I got married, my husband said he felt guilty taking me away. And when we danced to Daddy's Little Girl, there wasn't a dry eye in the place. We were crying like somebody was just told they were dying. That's how we were crying, my father and I. I mean, everybody. The only person that wasn't crying was my mother, because she had taken a pill. Somebody gave her some kind of pill, and she was just dancing all around. This isn't my mother. My mother was like, Mrs. Hotsy Totsy, and it was a riot, I'll tell you. But she was the only one, I think, that wasn't crying. But anyway, to get back to Father's Day, I know they say it posthumously. Somebody can be voted, and that means they're dead, they're already gone. I wasn't sure if that was the right word, but I thought maybe Steve Harvey could, say my dad. Because Steve Harvey kind of reminds me of my dad because of how he is with his daughters. and with his grandchildren. My father used to cry every time he came in my apartment. I was pregnant, and he would say, "Oh, I can't believe my baby's having a baby." And then when I had my son, oh my God, he adored him. He adored all his grandchildren. When my brother had Tommy, he was the prettiest kid you ever saw, little Tommy. He had ringlets, black hair, cute as a button. And my father used to take him out every Friday night, him and June and Tommy, them three of them. They'd go up the mall, and everybody thought my father probably was with another young woman. But he just loved to be around his grandchildren. And he loved them. But when I had Maria, she was the light of his life too, because she was me all over. And she adored him just like I adored my dad. She'd tell everybody, "You know my papa?" That was her life. I don't know how she got through it. I guess her and I took it really bad, my little baby. And Bobby kept it inside. Bobby was such a good boy. He was inside of me here. I wish I could relive that all over again. My dad would be right there. But anyway, happy Father's Day, Daddy. I love you with all my heart.
Okay, so you have to go like, yeah, you know. Don't collapse.
I'm not. Go.
Wait, hold on.
Grab your feet. Did you get it?
No, well, yeah, but it was for like, let's do this. We have to hold it for 5 seconds.
1, 2, 3, go.
Now grab my stomach.
One.
Hey everybody, it's me, Robert George, and today we're going out for dinner for Marky's his dinner party. And now we're going inside. All right, so we got our table. This is Mark. Hello. And we're waiting for Mom and Marissa to come in.
I gotta tell you.
I just want to say congratulations to this little man right here going into Centerville. I'm so glad to have you as my cousin.
Thank you.
And I want to say you're a big movie fan, like Toy Story. Thanks for being on this journey for infinity and beyond.
Yay!